This is CES MMA.
Here we go, two unbeaten fighters putting their 5-0 records on the line in the lightweight division. Lucas Cruz in the black and yellow trunks, Andres JUEDI in the blue. And this is one of the more talked about fights on this card, Scott. Really.
All joking aside, all the credit in the world to Pat Sullivan for putting this together. This is a fight that I'm sure every other promoter in the region would love to get their hands on, and Pat makes it happen. Just a phenomenal job. You can see how patient Andreas is. Now you see how he kind of saunters back to the middle, very relaxed. That rear leg kick was to find distance. That wasn't to hurt him or to inflict pain. Just to let him know, look, I got this. Where you see Cruz throwing it back with a little more mustard on it.
He tried to go upstairs earlier in the round and missed. Missed with the second try.
Nice straight right hand by Cruz.
Again, trying to go upstairs with the kick.
That was a rear teep to the face that didn't land. I'd be very surprised if Andreas got hit with one of those.
Yeah, JUEDI's very elusive, tough to catch.
You see how slow, I shouldn't say slow, he's so relaxed. Andreas is not throwing anything super hard right now. He's finding his timing and his distance, but Cruz is bringing it. Every punch Cruz throws is a knockout punch.
Yeah, nice right hand and a left
hook behind it.
Yeah.
Nice 2-3 combination.
You're right, he does have a sense of purpose behind every punch he throws.
Set right there with the kick, another one with the kick. Andreas is going to have to pick up his intensity just to match Lucas's right now.
Yeah, right now Cruz is outworking him, and JUEDI's going to have to do something to try to stem the tide. 3.5 to go in round number 1.
Cruz slipped under both those punches by Andreas. Last thing you want to do is stand perfectly still in front of Andreas. That's when he'll pick you apart. Lucas is doing a good job, a little bit of movement and a little bit of lateral movement as well, not just back and forth. Both fighters' hands are up well, their defense is solid. Inside leg kick by Andreas there.
That one had a little more of a
pop on it. You can see it in the hip.
Perhaps he's found that distance that he was looking for earlier in the fight.
Straight Thai fighters are notoriously slow starters. That's how the science of that game goes. That's the tradition to that art. And here you see kind of the Anderson in the quick kick.
The shake and bake is your reference.
Yeah.
2.5 to go in the opening round. Lucas Cruz in the black and yellow, Andres JUEDI in the blue.
To Lucas's credit, his hands are up. He's staying active. He was short on those two punches. Nice knee in the clinch, and second knee by Andreas. Third knee to the body. This is not where you want to be with Andreas. He has a phenomenal tie clinch, and he will throw short elbows. Watch for short elbows on the break here.
Referee warning Cruz to let go of the cage. Now he tries to drive a knee of his own. JUEDI answers with the knee.
What Cruz wants to do now is to get his head under Andreas's, get good head position and push his head up. So it forces Andreas to get on his toes. I don't know what he was pushing at here. Knee to the body. Now we can't see if Cruz's hand was actually grabbing the cage. It looked like the referee thought it was and he was trying to remove it. Overhand right, that was ducked under by Andreas.
Cruz again just putting everything into every punch. And that could be dangerous sometimes too, Scott.
Definitely dangerous. I don't think he's doing it with a reckless abandon, but he's doing it with bad intentions.
Absolutely. Final minute of this opening round. JUEDI going upstairs with the kick.
Both fighters definitely giving each other respect, do each other. Straight right hand, left hook, that kind of rocked Andreas. A little head kick that was blocked very well.
JUEDI with the taunting, saying...
Now watch, this is where he'll stop playing. That was a vicious liver kick. That is where Andreas is at his very, very best. Relaxed, almost a cocky swagger. You don't want to play that game. You never want to play your opponent's game.
Swagger definitely being the right word. Andres Judy showing that in the final minute. And
Cruz
then
is looking for that takedown. He's looking to sweep that leg, but I think the round's going to come to a close before he can get him there.
He may run out of time here. Final 10 seconds of round number 1.
Andres did a nice job of reversing position on the cage. And a couple of knees to the quadriceps in the process.
Real close round. I think Cruz was more active in the beginning, but Judy certainly picked up the pace toward the end.
Yeah, you know, I wouldn't want to call it.
And luckily, we do not have to.
That kick hurt his ribs. That kick hurt his ribs. But listen to me, okay? Don't get into a pissing match with him. That's what he wants you to do. He wants you to get into a pissing match. Okay? You're in his head already, but don't try it anymore. All right? He's going to come up hard. He's going to try to go hard. You just stay relaxed, and you're going to see everything coming. Right now, you are in his head. Don't continue the pissing match. Okay? I need some more straight left in the middle. Okay?
You hear John Johnson in Andres Judy's corner talking about that kick toward the end that got his attention.
It was a great liver kick. He might have been a little bit high. If that was actually right on the liver, Cruz would have been down.
He would have been
There's
out.
nothing worse than getting a hit, you know, jacked up in the liver.
And there's almost no defense for it. You never see it coming.
I mean, Mickey Ward made a living putting people
Absolutely.
away with that left hook to the liver. But I think what Johnson said in the corner that was most prevalent was, you don't need to, you're already in his head, you don't need to mess with him.
Exactly.
Relax and don't worry about that.
All right, round number 2. Andres Judy in the blue trunks, Lucas Cruz in the black and gold. We're in the lightweight division, 155 pounds.
Now you'll see Andreas, his punches will be a little bit harder. His kicks will have a little more emphasis on them now. We're in the second round, here it comes. Now if you see Andreas is the stalker, he's the one moving a little bit more, not standing as still. It's almost like he took the first round to find a blueprint.
And I think Judy has figured it out, and like you said, I think we'll come forward now with a little more.
Nice
reckless
1-2
abandon.
by Cruz, beautiful 1-2. You cannot stand still in front of a fighter, a Thai fighter, especially a Thai fighter with the credentials that Andreas has.
A lot more in those kicks from Judy here in the second round.
He's a lefty, so he's, you know, that rear leg is going directly at the ribs and liver. And if you see Cruz is moving into that left leg, that's not a really good idea. When an orthodox fighter and a southpaw fight, it should be a battle for the lead outside foot. I'd like to see Cruz throw a double right hand or a right hand left hook. Andreas, just the reverse, straight left hand. Nice short left hand by Andreas as Cruz came forward with the combination. Andreas is doing a very good job of nice left hook by Cruz. Missed him there with that kick. Now you see Andreas bring it forward. Andreas is doing a very good job of feeding Cruz to his strong side, his power side.
He's caught a couple of lefts, but he keeps coming forward and keeps showing that swagger that you talked about in the opening round. And maybe it does get in Lucas Cruz's head at some point.
Great takedown defense by Andreas. He scooped, he got a nice underhook and stood him right back up. Getting punched in the face is nothing new to either fighter. That's why their composure is kept as well as it is during these fights.
And no sense of panic from either side. 2.5 to go in round number 2.
And you can see why so many promoters would want this fight, but where is it? Here at CES. This is a high caliber fight. Both guys extremely evenly matched. We're more than halfway through this fight with no telltale victor to this point. Nobody is winning this fight convincingly. Both fighters missed with a kind of an overhanded piece there.
The fight's definitely been as good as advertised, and it's been as close as we expected it to be as we get to the 3-minute mark of round number 2.
Nice rear leg by both fighters. Again, nice kicks by both fighters, both landing. And again, we're against the cage.
And Cruz mixing a
now Cruz drops
right.
down.
Yep.
And Andreas does a great job of trying to stuff that takedown by getting low and bringing Cruz's hands back up over the hips. Cruz is looking for a single. He might try to either high crotch or step over and work the sweep. Andreas is trying to pull Cruz's head up high, and he did it, and he got him to break the grip. Great job by Andreas. Fantastic defense. Pay attention for short elbows and short knees from Andreas, especially in the clinch. This is his bread and butter. Cruz trying to work. There's another short knee. You can see the difference where Cruz has kind of rode up the leg and Andreas just went right to the belly. Now Cruz doing a good job trying to step over for that sweep and control his hips. Andreas is doing a great job fighting it off. Both fighters working very hard here.
There really hasn't been that one defining moment in this bout yet, Scott.
Not yet. You can see Cruz looking for the sweep right there, and he attacked it twice. It was a great job. And again, Andreas doing a great job of countering that, not letting it happen. His takedown defense, Andreas' takedown defense is stellar today.
It really is phenomenal. He's done a nice job. Even with no real estate to work with against the cage, he has not allowed himself to get taken down to the canvas yet. 17 seconds to go in round number 2. Another tough round.
I would like to see Andreas break the clinch. He's comfortable here. He's not taking punishment, and I know he's very conscious of the takedown, but I would really like to see Andreas work to break that clinch and get separation. Good round.
Good round and another close round to score. This one's tough. It's going to be interesting to see. We're going into the third and final round of what is expected to be a close fight, and it's been as good and as close as advertised. I think the big point you mentioned, Scott, in that second round, Andres Judy really showing his takedown defense, not allowing Cruz to get in and try to get him down to the canvas. He's done a nice job with his back against the cage, not allowing it to happen, and that's really sort of led to a bit of a stalemate at some point in that round, but nonetheless,
that's exactly,
it's made it tough.
When you say stalemate, that's exactly what Andreas wants to do with the takedown defense. He wants to stuff or cause a stalemate in the ground game. In other words, not get taken to the ground. He wants to stuff these takedowns at every turn to create what? To create the ability to stay up where he's the most comfortable. So a stalemate is exactly what's going on from a takedown aspect of this fight.
I would think if the fight does remain on, or standing up rather, it would certainly favor Andres Judy at this point. But anything can happen in this third and final round.
Andreas will be the first one. You know, when you're working like this, if a guy goes to shoot to take you down and you stuff it, you won that confrontation.
Right.
And that wears on the other fighter's head. Like, I can't get this guy down, I can't get this guy down.
It certainly gives the other fighter a mental edge. Nice kick upstairs.
Well blocked as well.
And here we are, round number 3. Could very well be an even fight as we head into these final 4.5 minutes. We'll see who can gain the upper hand.
I know this is the last round and anything can happen, but I would like to see 2 more after this, please.
Absolutely. And it may take, like we talked about, that one big moment, that big takedown or big exchange to really sway the judges.
Nice right hand coming off the left.
And there's the
shot. Andreas brought him right back up. I think you're right. Something significant from either fighter right now could change the tide. I believe it's that much an even fight. Good cage work by Cruz, keeping him against the fence, and again, good takedown defense by Andreas.
That could ultimately be the deciding factor. The fact that Andres Judy has taken Lucas Cruz out of his element and not allowing himself to get taken down could make a difference in the opinion of the judges.
If I was a judge and I'm scoring this, one of the hardest things, good defense is its own reward.
Yep.
I don't know how much I give points, actual points, for stuffing takedowns. I give points for a takedown if you can maintain a person down there and keep them there. But do you give points for stuffing a takedown? I don't know, defense is its own reward sometimes.
In a fight this close, you might have to. 3 minutes to go in the third and final round. The fight now in the center of the cage.
I would, if I was in Andreas' corner, I'd want him much more busy. Much more busy. And if I'm Cruz's corner, I need a little more I need him to disguise those shots. Nice straight left hand by Andreas as CRUZ went for a rear leg, inside leg kick.
And that one certainly stopped the train as CRUZ tried to get inside on JUEDI. This is where JUEDI wants to fight, and like you said, he should be a little bit more busy right here.
Now he's separating. Nice job, not staying in that clinch. Nice combination. He was short on them, a short right hand, short left hook, but they both landed. Nice left hook by Andreas. He's got the single and the takedown. Andreas right back to his feet. CRUZ takes him right back down, trying to pin him against the cage. He's got one hook in, back control, he's back mounted. He's got the second hook in, I believe. Yes, he has two hooks in, he's attacking that neck. 2 minutes. CRUZ needs to flatten him out here. Full extension. And Andreas needs to work desperately to get back up. He needs to protect his neck and get back up.
This could be that moment we talked about, Scott.
It most certainly is. In my book, this is the most significant thing of the fight. The most significant occurrence. CRUZ needs a couple more punches to soften up that chin. Andreas has to do his very best to turn inside, and he's doing it. CRUZ riding his back very, very well. Still has his hook in. Now you see here where CRUZ slid his arm under to try to maintain position and control of that right hand, but that also takes away from the choke, so Andreas will be fine with that. Andreas is doing a great job of 2-on-1 and trying to get back to his feet.
CRUZ getting that takedown to the center of the cage, ironically, the single leg.
That's exactly where it had to be, where Andreas couldn't get his back up at against the cage. Normally you'd like to see him, a lot of wrestlers like to use that cushion off the cage for a takedown. When that wasn't working, how intelligent is CRUZ for making it happen right in the center of the cage?
It's a great show of adaptation on the part of CRUZ. 1 minute to go. He's taking control here in the final 2.5 minutes.
He needs to really start letting punches go. He needs to break. He needs an over, one under, and he has it. One arm under an arm, one arm over it.
Right.
Now he's going to look to try to stretch Andreas out. Andreas is going to look to turn and roll into him and go belly to belly. Andreas is fighting. He's defending the best he can from back mount to side. Excuse me, from back mount to on his knees to back mount on his back. He's trying to create the scramble. CRUZ is just throwing some pretty good punches inside. Nothing devastating, but they're landing.
And he's staying active. He's really controlling the fight here.
Watch the referee. This is going to go to a decision. He got back up. No, he brought him back down. And now he's really letting the punches go. He's got some posture now.
CRUZ unloading here in the final 20 seconds. Really finishing strong.
Did a great job, Andreas, to get back up, but CRUZ really controlled the end of that round.
And that'll do it. 3 rounds in the books.
Thank you, Pat Sullivan. Thank you, Jimmy Birchfield.
Excellent fight between Andres JUEDI and CRUZ. And I think CRUZ may have sneaked this one or escaped with the win here, Scott, with the way he finished.
I have to agree with you 1,000%.
He got the single leg takedown to the center of the cage, and over the final 2.5 minutes, controlled the action. And
that was anybody's fight right up until that point, Mike.
And I think most importantly, he stayed busy while he had JUEDI on the ground. He didn't just lay and pray. He kept punching, and that can really...
And he kept surfing his back. He kept his hooks in. Andreas did a phenomenal job and kept trying to change over and create some space or create somehow a scramble. But CRUZ did a phenomenal job of riding that, maintaining position right up to the very end. Even at the last 18 seconds when Andreas tried to fire up, CRUZ dropping him right back down again.
You know, we talked about one of those fighters needing a defining moment or some kind of momentum change.
Yes, a very significant act to take place, and I think you're right, that was it.
And I think it did happen exactly with CRUZ down the stretch in that third round. That may be the big finish he needs to pull this one out on the scorecards. We're going to find out. Nonetheless, a real evenly matched fight, and it played out that way inside the cage. A real treat for the fans here at Battle Tested. Andres JUEDI and CRUZ, 3 rounds.
I want to see 2 more rounds of that.
I would love to see it as well.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we only get 3, and we're going to send it down now to Bill Carpenter for the particulars.
Ladies and gentlemen, having completed the scheduled distance of 3 5-minute rounds, Let's check the judges' scorecards for your official decision. All three judges, Dave Peabody, Patty Avery, and Wayne Lima, see the bout identically 30-27 for your winner by unanimous decision, Lucas Golden Boy Cruz.
Well, there it is, Lucas Cruz with the victory by unanimous decision. A clean sweep across the board, 30-27 on all three scorecards. He keeps his unbeaten record intact.
I can't argue that. You know, when we had a 30-27 earlier, it was so hairline close, so razor close that, yes, I guess it could have gone that way. I would have had a 29-28.